I pretty recently watched A Silent Voice, A Shape of Voice, Ko no Katachi, whatever you may call it. I watched it and it was amazing, and it truthfully made me feel a lot of, well, almost every emotion ever. And if you don't know what A Silent Voice is, then let me tell you about it. To put it simply, it's about a former bully who tries to make amends with a deaf girl he bullied when he was a kid. It was wonderfully directed by Naoko Yamada, who I'm a big fan of because she also directed the K-On! Movie, and A Silent Voice itself was originally based on the manga of the same name by Yotoshi Oima, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Okay, so let's pause real quick. I wanted to give a quick channel update before we go any further into the video. First off, I want to thank everyone for supporting my channel recently, especially on the Homestuck video. I wanted to mention that I'm going to be posting a video every 2 weeks to a month. I can't really give a set schedule just due to schoolwork and how chaotic life can be. And one last thing I wanted to mention is that if you want to support me and you enjoy what I do, please consider subscribing. I've noticed a very small, and I mean very small amount of you are actually subscribed compared to the people who watch my videos. And it would mean a lot to me if that number went up. I'm going to try making different types of content, so please consider sticking around. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of the video. The movie starts with our main character Shoya, a teenager who suffers from anxiety and depression, and also has thoughts of suicide. In the beginning of the movie, he makes an attempt on his life, but he doesn't go through with it, and the whole movie takes place after this event. We then watch a flashback scene of Shoya in middle school when he was a boy who bullied a deaf girl. The deaf girl is Shoko, our other main character. The bullying was bad enough for Shoko to leave the school because Shoya kept breaking her hearing aids. This labeled Shoya a bully in his class, even though his classmates bullied her too. Now some of you may be thinking, good, he bullied her, he got what he deserves. But the movie paints a very different picture. Shoya loses all of his friends and gets bullied. They keep him from getting friends in high school, and now it's his last year and he's all alone. Which is why the movie starts the way it started. Shoya eventually makes a friend, who is one of my favorite characters in the movie, and he meets Shoko again. He wants to make amends, and they slowly become friends. The whole movie has a lot of ups and downs and a lot of stuff I don't even hit on. It's fantastic, so you should go watch it if you haven't. Okay, now that I've went through the basic explaining of the movie, I want to get into what I want to talk about, and that is how we see the characters cope in the movie. And it is really interesting to see how the movie portrays anxieties and depression, especially through Shoya. The movie displays Shoya's anxieties through marking characters' faces with X's, and for the last few scenes of the movies, they have a camera shot at his perspective, which is always looking down. The movie does a great job of showing anxieties and how it affects everyday life, like how Shoya has trouble looking people in the eyes, and how he has trouble communicating with people. Shoko, our other main character, is deaf, and throughout the movie, Shoko struggles to communicate with her peers and even gets bullied for it, you know? This is difficult for her, and the movie shows that. Both of these characters have gone through traumatic events, while for very different reasons and very different events, it has still affected them. We see characters cope in various ways from the supporting cast to the two main characters. I think it's very interesting to see how these characters react to the situations they are put in, like how Miki plays herself up to be the victim when confronted with the past bullying of Shoko, or how Naoka handles most situations with aggression and anger. She lashes out at Shoko and blames her for Shoya being in the hospital, and most people hate her for this, but the way she reacted, you can tell that she really cares about Shoya. In the movie, we see Yuzuru take pictures of dead animals. This is to try to show her sister that death isn't the answer. Yuzuru is trying her best to help her sister and cope with the situation around her. And I can go on and make an argument for most of the characters about how they cope to stressful situations, but I'd like to talk about the two main characters. First, let's talk about Shoko. The way she copes is truthfully a kinda sad one. Whenever she got bullied, she accepted it and blamed herself, and then tried to become friends with her bullies. You know, she thinks that it's her fault. She blames everything on herself, while being extremely kind to those around her. Shoko tries to take responsibility for everything in her life, but not knowing how to handle it, she copes with self-blame and pure kindness, while Shoya does almost the exact opposite when it comes to coping. While he was mainly to blame for Shoko's bullying, he blames others and pushes them out. Shoya copes by closing himself off and not letting others in. The way he copes factors in with his anxiety and not being able to look people in the eye and talking to them. But later in the movie, after his blaming others and closing himself off coping mechanism backfires, he then blindly does whatever he can to make Shoko happy, whether that's from guilt from the bullying, or to make amends, or just because they are friends. Or maybe a mix of all three. The movie never says, and Shoko then blames herself for the way he acts. One of the last things I want to go over is a part towards the end. After Shoya gets out of the hospital, he and Shoko meet. While this scene is filled with happy and sad emotions, Shoya tells Shoko that he wants her to show him how to live. She agrees, and to me this shows two people trying to deal with life together and coping with what comes their way. I think that it is so interesting to see all these different characters, and more importantly, how they react to the situations they are put in. From all these awful sort of coping methods to characters just trying their best, the movie does a great job of portraying people and all their flaws. Personally, I really enjoyed seeing these two characters that should, for a few reasons, not get along, form a bond and turn what are some not so great coping methods into a better way to get through life and its challenges together. So to sum up, A Silent Voice is a wonderful movie filled with so many different themes, beautiful animation, and wonderful writing. I could probably make a new video on this movie every day for a month and just about hit all the different topics and things I can make videos on that this movie goes into. I heard the manga is a lot better than the movie, and I'm currently reading through the first volume, so, maybe I'll make something on the manga at some point. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. If you do, it means a lot. Anyways, I hope you all have had a good day, and thanks for watching.
I just need a few more minutes though.